Good morning. As Cicero said, dum spiro spero. While I breathe, I hope. And today's speech is very much about hope. I stand before you today as the president of the largest business association in Massachusetts with a profound sense of admiration and respect. One page at a time. As business people, you are all takers of risk, visionaries of success, movers of our economy, providers of economic opportunity, instruments of social equity. You represent 3,500 AIM members who together employ almost 750,000 people. 750,000 people who depend upon your company's success to earn a living, raise families, and build lives for themselves and for their children. We have grown economic output in our state by a staggering 40% since 2010, and in the process have created 500,000 new jobs. You have made Massachusetts a global center of innovation and business formation. You should be proud of what you do. It is your determination and hard work that motivate all of us at AIM to represent tirelessly your interests in the public debate and to articulate the positive role you play in larger society. The nature and scope of that role has become a consuming issue both inside and outside of the business community. It should come as no surprise in an era of increasing economic anxiety that you and we encounter questions such as, why do you do what you do? Why would anyone choose to start and to run a company? What is the purpose of business anyway? And how are you giving back to society? These aren't new questions. Business is propelled by the economic value it creates for the company, for society at large, and by its performance for both investors and a wider network of constituencies. But does that value extend to collaborating with other agents in solving social problems and building the trust that inspires employees and society as a whole? That's the question as we begin 2020. A new year, a new decade, a new election cycle, and the 105th anniversary of Associated Industries of Massachusetts. It's a question we embrace as AIM reimagines a better state of business and for business. What is a better state of business? A state in which employers are a positive force for change, creating a better and a more prosperous world. On a national level, the Business Roundtable energized this debate last August when they updated their statement about the purpose of a corporation. They asserted that business decisions should be based not solely on whether they will yield higher profits for shareholders, but should consider all stakeholders, employees, customers, and society writ large. They also said that companies should work to deliver value to customers, invest in employees, deal fairly with suppliers, and support communities, in addition to generating long-term shareholder value. Each of our stakeholders is essential, the new statement says. We commit to deliver value to all of them for the future success of our companies, our communities, and our country. Larry Fink, the influential chairman and CEO of the investment giant BlackRock, sounded a similar theme in his annual letter to investors. Fink asserts that climate risk is compelling investors to reassess core assumptions about modern finance. And I quote, "Companies must be deliberate and committed to embracing purpose and serving all stakeholders, your shareholders, customers, employees, and the communities where you operate. In doing so, your company will enjoy greater long-term prosperity, as will investors, workers, and society as a whole," close quote. And we agree. But as we embark upon this presidential election year, the debate over the role of business has unmistakable political implications. What is not clear at this point is whether potentially productive economic policies will fall victim to political extremes. Where once those on both sides of the aisle could reach compromise on issues like tax rates, interest levels, and government spending, the 2020 campaign has shifted largely to the margins on either side. The difficulty with these extremes is that they leave little room for compromise. We are on unfamiliar terrain, with each faction denouncing the other, frequently unwilling to cross boundaries to reach agreement. What's indisputable as we march into this new decade of the 21st century is that many of the certainties of the late 20th century about how ordinary people's lives were supposed to be organized economically have disappeared. So what does this mean for AIM and for Massachusetts in 2020? We call ourselves a Commonwealth, a label deliberately chosen by John Adams when he drafted the Constitution in the fall of 1779. The world's oldest functioning written constitution enshrined at our founding and embraces the idea that we are all in this together. Commonwealth is important for us as we move forward as an association of employers. It implies that we must not have two Massachusetts, one doing well and the other not. We must ensure that our education systems value all of our young people, regardless of zip code or income level. We need to acknowledge economic inequalities and address them by creating real pathways for achieving economic security. Failure will drive our public discussions and our politics down an ever more resentful and unconstructive path. We must have our gaze fixed on the future. We need to advocate boldly for our members and the importance of thriving businesses. AIM represents employers of every possible description: global companies, small family-owned stores, cutting-edge research and development companies, startups, manufacturing, finance, and sophisticated service companies. These employers are bound to the economic hopes and dreams of the communities in which they operate. Our challenge is to integrate the economic needs of employers with the welfare of the society in which employers play a central role. That means ensuring that business remains an economic engine of progress that expands prosperity for everyone. How do we accomplish this objective? First, we commit ourselves to ensuring that Massachusetts and the business community set the standard for diversity and inclusion in all aspects of our operations, from talent acquisition and management, to supply chain development and participation, to market strategies and business growth. Diversity to us encompasses race, gender, and national origin, as well as company size, industry, and geography. The full variety of companies and people who make up the Massachusetts economy. And our commitment to diversity must reach beyond words. We resolve to invest in, do business with, and encourage the growth of companies that bring economic opportunities to people previously excluded. Companies like DRB Facility Services of Boston and its founder, Anthony Samuels, who now employs 600 people providing janitorial, landscaping, and snow removal services to some of the largest and most respected companies in the United States. Or companies like Lancaster Packaging in Hudson, where founder and AIM director Marianne Lancaster has built the supply management and wholesale packaging distribution firm she started straight out of college into a national company with 18 employees. Marianne has also used her own business success to address the broader issues facing women and people of color seeking to build companies. The second way to expand prosperity is that business must lead the way in developing and keeping a highly qualified workforce. Since the first commercial transactions centuries ago, businesses have faced the need to fill openings in order to operate. What's new in 2020 is that we must now go beyond simply putting up a help wanted sign and waiting for people to show up. Employers throughout Massachusetts are instead developing innovative strategies and partnerships with schools, veterans organizations, prisons, and immigrant centers to build pipelines of qualified employees. And that's exactly what happened on the North Shore last November when the GE Foundation announced a $2.5 million grant to launch the Advanced Manufacturing Training Expansion Program designed to reach more than 900 high school students and adult learners by 2024. The program will train high school students from Lynn Voc Tech, Essex North Shore Agricultural and Technical School, and Gloucester High School, and will also support underemployed, unemployed, and underrepresented adults, such as veterans, people of color, and women. It's a model that could soon be replicated statewide after Governor Baker announced on Tuesday a proposed spending of $8.5 million to build out industry-recognized credentialing pathways for adult learners in technical and trade fields. AIM looks forward to supporting that proposal. And the value of such training is immeasurable. Consider Interstate Electrical Service of North Billerica, a second-generation family business and the largest merit shop electrical contractor in New England. Interstate has established two widely recognized apprenticeship programs that are expanding the pool of people able to share in the economic prosperity of Massachusetts. Founded in 1966 by Pat Alibrandi, with a desk, a chair, and a van, Interstate has grown to more than 600 employees and a fleet of more than 180 vehicles. As the construction trades struggle to attract young workers, Interstate Electrical has become a national example by dedicating significant time and resources to attracting and training young people who didn't realize that there is a future in the trades. Let's take a look.
In order for our company to grow and continue providing the level of services our clients expect, we change our whole approach to how we build and install electrical systems. We now use lean manufacturing principles as part of our installations at our new UL-certified 100,000 square foot operations center. This has provided new and exciting ways for local workers to enter the construction field.
We have two apprenticeship programs that we feel are very dynamic for what's happening in the world around us. The first one is our electrical apprenticeship program. The second one that we have is our team assembler apprenticeship program, which we're very proud of. We've had it for a little over a year now, and it's something that is registered through and recognized through the state of Massachusetts, which is the first of its kind.
I was bartending before. I didn't plan to become a bar manager or open a restaurant, so I was in a way stagnant. I liked how Interstate is almost like an open-ended career, so you can take it in so many different directions. One of the benefits of this program is within a year you're becoming certified, so that was very appealing. I can get that certification in, go on to the next. I plan to be a fully licensed electrician within the next 5 years, hopefully.
So I went to Bridgewater State I went for a year. It didn't work out for me, so I figured I'd pick up a trade, and electrical was the most interesting to me. I have 2 more years left in the apprentice program, and then hopefully get my license, and the opportunities after that are endless.
Well, we get to be very hands-on, and we're learning, and I think knowledge is everything. You're not going to be good at your job if you don't know it.
I definitely recommend it. The bigger environment, a lot more people to learn from.
My advice for anybody would be to not limit yourself. I never imagined that I would be an electrician. I gave it a try. I liked it. You never know where certain careers can take you.
We hope this continues to provide opportunities for anyone interested in pursuing a career in the industry.
I'd say do it. There's a lot of opportunities in any trade, especially this one.
So you beat me to it. Please join me in acknowledging Interstate Electrical CEO Jim Alibrandi, Vice President of Human Resources Louisa Mills, and other members of the Interstate team who are with us this morning. Thank you. The final strategy to merge the needs of business and society and to expand prosperity is to ensure that Massachusetts remains fertile ground for launching new businesses and growing existing ones. Economic growth and business ownership and success are the only effective methods of achieving the social equity necessary to a sustainable Commonwealth. The good news is that AIM, the business community, and the political establishment in Massachusetts enjoy a collaborative relationship that has allowed the Commonwealth to find reasonable solutions to seemingly intractable problems. Employers and lawmakers have spent the past several years rolling up their sleeves to ensure accountability in the funding of public education, to moderate the soaring costs of health care, and to guarantee a fair wage for women while ensuring the ability of employers to reward key workers. What issues lie ahead in 2020? In the area of health care, business leaders at AIM and the Massachusetts Taxpayers Foundation and others are developing a strategy to moderate health care costs in Massachusetts by reducing the inappropriate use of emergency rooms. The objective is to reduce health expenditures by $100 million while ensuring better care for our employees. Meanwhile, AIM and its board of directors are forging thoughtful positions on pending policy issues that will affect the Massachusetts economy for decades to come. We have articulated a reasoned, long-term approach to raising the money to repair and upgrade the state's overburdened transportation system. AIM supports a multi-state regional cap and invest program called the Transportation and Climate Initiative, or TCI. TCI helps us deal with our climate goals while providing for transportation improvements as well. AIM also supports Governor Baker's Housing Choice Bill to address the economic threat posed by high housing costs that drive people to live further away from their workplaces. I'm also pleased to tell you that responsible advocacy by this organization and its 3,500 members led Beacon Hill lawmakers to allow the onerous EMAC charge to go away at the end of last year. Everything we do at AIM is done with the goal of helping businesses unlock their full potential. We fiercely advocate for positive public policy that creates a strong economy. We empower businesses with the information, tools, and resources needed to navigate a fast-paced and a complex business world. We foster connections, networks, and the flow of ideas between people and businesses. And today, as we step into this new decade, there has never been a more pressing need for businesses to work together, advocating for the values we believe are essential to our common success. It's a very different world and a different century being driven by a new generation of ideas and entrepreneurs. We need to work together to reinforce our role as job creators, community shapers, risk takers, and leaders in Massachusetts. At AIM, we recognize the value and the power of that space in the middle that allows for collaboration and cooperation. By rejecting polarization in favor of balanced and fair compromise, we can set our Commonwealth on a path of forward progress. We also recognize the power of engagement. The ability of AIM to create a strong Commonwealth depends upon the willingness of employers of all sizes and types to join us in the endeavors that will determine our economic future. Ultimately, you see, this speech is about you. We want every member of the association to be actively engaged. Express yourself on important issues. Bring your company's younger generation of executives to AIM events like this one to meet influential business people and to interact with policymakers. Engage your diversity and inclusion executives with AIM as we expand the influence of the business community. Host a tour of your facility for your state rep or your state senator. I am honored and gratified to lead this organization as we seek to support the dreams and the aspirations of Massachusetts employers. We will continue to work together to create a uniformly competitive economic structure across all industries, all geographic regions, and all populations. AIM looks forward to working with all of you to continue to advocate for the positive impact of business in the Commonwealth and on its people. Thank you for what you do, and thank you very much for your support of AIM.